Now that spring is finally here, many of you are starting to plant for the season.
That's right. ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live this morning at Hughes Hughes Nursery in Ash, North Carolina with tips from the pros. Good morning.
Good morning, that's right, yeah, and there's all sorts of stuff that you can start to plant this time of year. And it's pretty stuff too, with flowers.
Good morning, Amanda. Absolutely. I believe we're past the frost at this point. It's time to get ready for spring. Plants are starting to bloom. You know, we have a sample of a few things here this morning that are already popping some blooms, crab apples.
Yeah,
and
what are we looking at? So this is the crab apple.
Yeah, that's a crab apple, and then right below it you have a coral bell azalea.
Okay.
You have some ever-blooming azaleas or encore azaleas that bloom multi-times a year. You don't have to always just think flowers in your yard. A lot of plants offer a lot of color just with the foliage. So, you know, it gives you a lot of different things to look at in your yard. You know, foliage over here and tea olives that bloom, and roses are going to start blooming, and some perennials with the lantana, and cherry trees and plum trees. You know, a lot of flowering things out there today you can put in your yard, not just something green.
Right, and the plum trees and the pear trees, so they actually grow the fruit?
No, they are not. These are a flowering variety only. So you only have flowers on these, and then you get the foliage on it. So you have a nice evergreen tree during the summertime, and of course loses its leaves during the winter.
Yeah, well, they're so pretty, and I mean, I love this time of year because you do see all the flowers, you know, start to come out.
Yes,
and,
it is.
You know, you can get stuff in your yard, and this place is unbelievable. People actually just come out here for a day trip because it's 13 acres. I mean, this is the map. This is a huge map. This is 13 acres. You got pretty much everything out here.
We do, and each one of these letters represent rows of different types of plants, and we have a guide over there. People come out, we give them a copy of this map and put them on a golf cart and just send them out to look for plants.
How cool. Well, we're going to have to go out and take that little trip when the sun comes up, guys.
And pay close attention, Amanda, because I need you to come do some landscaping in my house.
Okay, good.
Well, today's warm temperatures make it the perfect day to get out there and start working in your gardens and start planting for the spring season.
ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live this morning at Hughes Hughes Nursery in Ash, North Carolina, showing us how to properly plant, right?
That's right, yeah, we're learning the right way to do it. And so hopefully, you know, you put them in there and boom.
Well, you know, the key to this is you can buy all these beautiful plants, Amanda, but if you don't plant them in your yard properly, you're wasting your money.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, we have a big fatsia right here. So this plant comes out of the pot. You want to break the roots up just a little bit before you put it in the ground.
Okay, so what do you mean? Just kind of move them around?
Just move them around. You can take a knife and you can score them a little bit. You know, if they're loose, see how I'm just breaking them up. So what you want to do is you want to create a root ball where the roots will actually grow out instead of continue to grow in the ball.
Okay.
You then want to, you know, one of our sayings here is plant high, never die, plant low, never grow. Okay. So our water table's very high in this area. So we want to make sure that we bring our plants, you know, 1 inch to 2 inches above grade. So grade being our natural dirt. We want to bring those plants up above that. And then we crown the soil up to the top of the root ball. So our plant looks kind of like a little pitcher standing on a pitcher's mound.
Okay.
And then after that, we add a little loose soil around it because you're going to dig your hole about 2 inches bigger than your actual root ball. Okay. And then once you do that, get it in the hole, you want to pack this dirt down around this plant. Packing the dirt around it allows take any of the air out of the soil and stuff around it, and then it gives the roots a great place to grow as they do it. And then you water it and take care of it. You know, don't overwater because again the water table is very high in this area. You know, most plants in your yard, you know, during the summer 3 times a week. Don't overwater them. That's the key. And when you water, make sure you water slowly so it goes all the way through the root ball. And you're not just watering, you know, this much of the root ball.
Oh, very good tips. I'm excited to go try this out at home, guys.
I think she's practically an expert by now.
Absolutely. She's got a green thumb. Spring is finally here. Many of you are starting to plant for the season.
ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live this morning at Hughes Hughes Nursery in Ash, North Carolina. Good morning.
Good morning, that's right. Yes, and we're learning all about planting. We learned to dig a hole not too deep and, you know, put your plant in there.
Right.
And then now we're going to feed it energy, right?
Absolutely. It's time. You know, the frost is gone, the plants are waking up. It's time to give them some nutrients so they can grow.
Fertilizer really helps.
It does. It does. You know, it creates a stronger, more healthy plant to have that, Amanda. And today we want to talk a little about fertilizing as we roll into spring. It's time to get those fertilizers out. Your slow release fertilizers, your palm fertilizers, again, your slow release stuff. It doesn't take a lot of fertilizer to wake these plants up and get them growing and promote new growth. You know, when you get these bottles of fertilizer, you can pick them up in any kind of box store. What you want to do is read the back of it. Tells you how much fertilizer to put out. Most of the time when you look at the slow releases, it's just a small little handful of fertilizer that you want to put out around this plant. So you just sprinkle it around the root ball. Okay. And it releases very slowly over time. And you'll find that this is a long-term feeding. Most of these are a 4 to 6 month feeding process. So it's not something you have to do every week. So, you know, and we're going to start fertilizing here at the nursery actually next Monday. And we will fertilize the whole 13 acres.
Do you go on the golf cart and then just kind of like throw this out?
No, it's not quite that easy. We have a little device that we use. But we'll go to each plant and we will actually put fertilizer out on each plant in the nursery. Now, a little bit different when it comes to palm trees. We have a lot of palm trees in this area, so you need to remember that. You need to use a palm fertilizer when you're fertilizing your palm trees, not necessarily a Osmocote slow release. And the reason you want to do that is this contains different minerals that the palm tree needs. So every one has a measurement on the back of it. Tells you based upon how tall your palm tree is, how much you put out on your palm tree. So we can't forget our little palm trees as we do it. And then we also want to make sure we put out some Epsom salt around your palm trees for the magnesium.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I'm learning so much, guys.
It is a lot to absorb there.
There is a lot that could go wrong, a lot of room for error.
Yeah, my only gardening tip, I've heard of studies that if you talk nicely to plants, they will grow better. And with these warmer temps, some of you are just itching to start working in your garden, start planting for spring.
Yes, and these temperatures, like you said, are going to motivate you if you haven't already. We are getting tips from the experts with ABC 15's Amanda Kinzid. She's live right now at Hughes Hughes Nursery in Ash, North Carolina.
That's right, and I'm super motivated now, and now I've got all the tools I need to, you know, hopefully let these plants thrive in my yard. And we've already talked about this. I want a palm tree.
I know you do. I know you do. You need to do it.
I know. So but there's a bunch of different kinds. So yeah. This one's hairy over here. What is this one?
Yeah, absolutely, Amanda. So now is the time to start thinking about getting a palm tree in the ground if you want one. You just got to make sure you pick the right type of palm tree. We really technically only have 5 palm trees that are considered to be winter hardy in our area.
Okay.
And this would be a representation of each one of them. As we move from the far my left, we've got the Sable Palm or the Palmetto Palm.
That's the big tall one.
You know, that's probably one of the most common trees. Then you move over to the Pindo Palm, which is the one that looks kind of like a fountain, comes up out of the center and cascades down to the ground. The European Fan Palm, people like it. It's a lower growing palm, only grows about 8 to 10 foot. Bushy palm. This is a needle palm next to you, Amanda. This is more of a screening palm, 6 foot grower at max. And then probably this is the most winter hardy palm. All these palms are classified to be hardy for this zone. But the windmill palm, you even see the windmill palm up in some of the northeast areas.
It's got a nice little covering
it's
right there.
It's got some insulation
on it. Now wait,
exactly.
real quick, do you talk to your plants? Is that how they grow so nice?
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. That is the key right there, guys.
You were right. You were right.
That's the only time you've ever said that.
Maybe so.